Hi, I'm Brian Heidelberger, a partner with the law firm of Winston & Strawn in Chicago, and here today with another mini advertising law lesson. Today's law lesson, how brands can use hashtags without getting sued. Hashtag I can't actually prevent you from getting sued. Hashtag then why are we watching this video? Hashtag don't worry about it, you're gonna love it. So first I want to erase the misimpression that some people have that just because you put a hashtag in front of a word, it's free for all to use. Now while that may be okay for a consumer, if you're a brand you have to worry about trademark infringement, false advertising, false association. For example, I'm Winston & Strawn and I don't sponsor the NCAA tournament. If I put in a tweet, hashtag Winston sponsors the NCAA tournament, that's obviously going to be a trademark infringement. Similarly, if in my tweet I put hashtag my product's #1 when it's not, or hashtag my competitor's product tastes like poison when it doesn't, that's going to be false advertising. So we really need to look at the tweets independently, and just putting a hashtag in front of it doesn't change the meaning. First thing that you're probably most concerned about is, can we use another's trademark in a hashtag? Well, the law is generally trademark infringement, false advertising, false association, and unfair competition. But what it comes down to is our use going to confuse people to believe that the trademark owner has given us permission to use their mark or somehow is otherwise affiliated with us? Now, the defense is pretty easy. No, consumers aren't going to be confused by the way we're using it. They're going to understand that we were just using it as part of a conversation and the trademark owner didn't endorse our use. So what cases are out there that might help us? Well, not a lot. There's only been a few cease and desist, and I think that's a little bit telling about the risk here. One cease and desist came from a rapper, Chris Webby, who owned 2 trademarks for Webby and sent a cease and desist to the Webby Awards for using hashtag Webby on Twitter. That one, as far as I understand, didn't turn into a lawsuit. Similarly, this one, where Taco John's has a federally registered trademark for Taco Tuesday, sent a cease and desist to Iguana Grill, who is using hashtag Taco Tuesday on Twitter. Taco John's claimed that they own the exclusive rights to use that phrase, but they never filed a lawsuit, and many people went on Twitter and talked about how ridiculous it was that Taco John's tried to own the exclusive rights to use that phrase on Twitter. There's really only one reported case, and that actually wasn't even a trademark or false association case. It was more of a false advertising case, but it was interesting in that it said that, 1, tweets, when done by a brand, can be commercial speech and as subject to trademark infringement and false advertising claims. Number 2, even when a company didn't mention their competitor by name in a hashtag, it still could be false advertising. For example, hashtag SharePoint, hashtag Red Dragon is hashtag made in China, was found to be potentially geographically misdescriptive and thus false advertising when the competitor's product wasn't really made in China. Now, Twitter's terms don't give a lot of protection to a brand owner trying to stop others from using their trademark. They have a very broad statement that says that people can't use marks in a manner which might mislead the public. But I would think that Twitter would most likely let the trademark owner attack the brand owner using their mark on their own. Twitter's not going to want to get in the middle of that, absent serious fraud or egregious circumstances. So enough, Brian, hashtag. Can we do it or what? First, let me say, again, hashtag I am not your attorney, hashtag this is not legal advice, but I do believe you may be able to use another's trademark in a hashtag without infringing their rights. And this is really by joining the conversation about the mark, about the event that is subject to the trademark, not using it to sell or promote your product, not suggesting endorsement or affiliation like we talked before. Now, this is very tweet dependent, as you can imagine. You want to review it carefully, but the transitory nature of tweets, the incidental nature of tweets, and the fact that there are just so many darn tweets out there make me believe that in many instances the risk is relatively low if you use it in the right way. And again, the fact that there haven't been lawsuits to date helps support that view. What are some risk mitigation strategies? Number one, if you can, avoid using registered trademarks. Those are the marks that are most highly protected. But I recognize that many times you can't. In that kind of an instance, use the marks that the trademark owner has suggested people use to converse about the product or services. Don't stand out as part of the crowd and have the light shining on you. Don't be the only ones to use somebody else's trademark. Use the mark that everybody else is using as a hashtag, and again, merely join the conversation. Don't sell or promote your product. And of course, limit the number of tweets and the time period over which you are sending the tweets, and obviously the less of each of those, the lower the risk. Think about whether your competitor sponsors the mark that you are using in your hashtag, which could raise the risk, and also consider the PR concerns. Finally, when you're using hashtags as part of your own marketing campaign, whether your own trademark or one that you want people to tweet about your goods and services, be careful and think about the fact that it may get co-opted. A good example is Qantas. They asked people to tweet hashtag Qantas Luxury to talk about how luxurious the airline is. In fact, there were many unhappy customers at that exact time. They were having trouble getting back from a certain destination. And instead of tweeting about how luxurious Qantas is, they talked about how unhappy they were with Qantas. And that's it for today on hashtags. I hope you enjoyed this. You can follow me in the future at Brian Heidelberger, or for more mini advertising law lessons, follow me at youtube.com/adage or youtube.com/Brian Heidelberger. And until next time, hashtag let's be careful out there.